sometimes, as a long-term experienced trader, I also feel that it's 1.5 years. It's since what, 2021? It has been like that, But like I say, fear not, because we do have something that we want to share with you, some techniques that we could use it to pick winning stocks.
So in short, what Mr. Fred is trying to say is, although market in general is weak, that doesn't mean that every single one is also weak. There can be a few that's good, and then that few is good enough if you're a trend following trader or even scalper. Okay, I can see that some of you guys are new here. Maybe you don't know who Mr. Fred is. So I've introduced myself. Now let me introduce Mr. Fred to you. Okay, so Mr. Fred, he's the founder of F1 Academy of Technical Analysis. Okay, so this are his qualifications. Okay, and his past careers. He was a former fund manager. Okay, now a researcher, educator, and author. The cool thing is he's Malaysia's first recipient of the Masters of Financial Technical Analysis. Okay,
I did that in 2007, and yes.
2007, that's more than 10 years ago.
Yes. Grandmaster.
A pioneer. Okay.
But I'm passing it to you guys already, to the next gen.
Okay, and speaking of researcher, okay, he discovered the TAD system in 2017. Okay, had a return of 128% in 6 months. 6 months.
We are still using that now.
Yes, and then he's also an educator. All right, we are collaborating with Asia Metropolitan University, which we offer a 3 months course. It's a very intensive course. Okay, so this one is not just for trading; it's also exam oriented. We prepare students to take the diploma exam from STA UK.
Yeah, and I must add that we are very proud, that we are the best in terms of scoring some credits and distinctions. Well known for that too. Out of 12 who took, actually all 12 passed. Okay, and 7 got distinctions. That's
okay. So other than educator, he's also an author of 8 best-selling books. I'm sure you've seen this somewhere, maybe peripherally in Popular. Okay, so one of the most famous one is, of course, the chart pattern analysis book here. Okay, it's the one you can see right over here. Okay, and then if you go to any popular bookstore, you're bound to see this book, okay, somewhere up there in the bestsellers section. Okay, that's been there since 2015. And just, was it last year or 2 years ago, Vietnamese company approached us. It was last year. Okay, they asked Mr. Fred if they could translate it to the Vietnamese language for them to market it in Vietnam, and I heard it's been selling like hotcakes.
It's been done now. It's been selling.
Yes. Okay. So just now we were just talking a bit about how has the market been, all right, recently and all. So I think now let's get to the more detail. Okay. So we can start off with the KLCI chart. Okay. So this one, I'll allow Mr. Fred to brief us of what's going on in the market.
So the answer to this question, how has the market been recently, is depends on how recent you want me to analyze, 2020 or 2021 or 2022.
Okay, so if it's from 2020, Mr. Fred,
you would like to choose 2020. I think so. That's a very apt beginning, because that's just before the pandemic and before the COVID and before the market crash. I don't know if you remember, we came back from Chinese New Year holidays on January the 28th, 2020, and we were shocked, that the market just dived, on the opening, we said, look, Chinese is the 3rd day of Chinese New Year. How come, you greeted us, the market greeted us with a gap down. And then we realized that actually it is due to, I think they had Wuhan there, and discovered that the virus has broken out, the COVID virus. And that's what this chart is all about. It shows the crash, the severeness of the drop. But then again, around March if we could point the pointer there, around March the 18th, right? So we had a lockdown, and we thought that's it, that's the end of the story, like, this is the beginning of the COVID and it's already died. Then guess what? The next day, Bank Negara announced a reduction in the SRR, the statutory reserve ratio, by 100 basis points from 3% to 2%. And honestly, that did the trick, and the market rebounded sharply. So hence the V shape. We call it a V in chart pattern analysis. And basically, it's a very abrupt U-turn. Okay, and if you know how to handle it, there are some Japanese candlesticks reversal pattern right at the bottom. We could point to that point, like bullish engulfing, and that's what happened. We saw a bullish engulfing and the market turn. And we use a TAT, and if you can point to the arrow where we had the TAT buy signal over there, yeah, that's it. Just about probably a week after that, we had a confirmed buy signal, confirmed by an RSI, which I was talking to one of our members, and I think it's very peculiar. The RSI went to 12. There was no occasion in the history of the KLCI that actually went down to 12. So I said, look, this must be a major reversal. And that's it. And we caught it. So in short, basically 2020, we had a great year. We had a great year. And I'm sure those of you who actually traded in 2020, how many can I have your hands? He, of course, Adnan. Look, you make money because it is like a blind chicken trade. They call it a blind chicken. Even a blind chicken can pick the oars, even though they are blind. Okay. So if you actually, it's very ironical that in the bear market, in so uncertain times, that the market rebounded. But because we are chartists, we are not fundamental, and not just depending on news, because the news was very bearish. So now 2020, yes, the money was good, but it couldn't last. And what you're seeing there, these horizontal lines are basically resistance and support lines drawn, right? Resistance and support lines, and just telling us that the market since 2021, if you can point over there as well, after the top there, the beginning of 2021, the KLCI just came down, and then it wobbled and waddled until what it is today. So, and then based on indicators, I'll tell you, okay, based on chart patterns, we've got a consolidation rectangle pattern, and based on, I think the move, TAD, Tetraatom and DAX, and we'll share with all of you what is Tetraatom and DAX is, the indicators, which is basically total, and DAX, TAD, right? It shows bearishness there, and then confirmed by a moving average, okay, where the price is below the 50 and below the 200 day. So in short, there's really nothing much to look at for the KLCI.
Yeah, so if I could recap, in 2020, I believe everyone was at home in lockdown. I made money as well, but couldn't spend much because, well, lockdown. Okay, so during that period, I made money. And early 2021, I also made a lot of money with the TAD system. Okay, but like what Mr. Fred said, right now is sentiment is weak. As you can see, it's going pretty much nowhere. But here's the thing, those of you who don't know, KLCI, the index is only made up of 30 biggest stocks. Okay, so it doesn't necessarily give us the full picture of the whole market. So that's why we have different indices, right, Mr. Fred?
Yeah, because many of you here, basically, some of you here still buy KLCI stocks. I still buy because some banks are still good, but there are other stocks that are actually in the mid cap, small caps, which are basically still good, which we're going to talk about later on. And these, unfortunately, is not reflected in the KLCI. That's why now we are taking a look now at the mid cap, small cap index. And what you're looking at, guys, is basically the mid cap and small cap index. So again, starting from 2021 all the way down, you just draw two lines, you see that it's basically waddling and oscillating between the two lines. So basically, even the mid and small cap generally is lackluster. Many of them, some of them may jump up, but they come back down, like what we call kangaroo hops. They hop up in the beginning of the day, and then you're not careful, you go in and buy, and then they come back down and close back to where they were square one. And if you don't know how to handle this, you will also lose money. And then that is where later on we are going to introduce to you a technique called the kangaroo, which is the P4 technique, the fast in, fast out. And that technique can help to handle this kind of markets in the IPM, mid cap, small cap. But there are some in the mid and small cap that are still trending. A few, but they are. But can you locate them? And basically, what we hope to do this afternoon is to share with you the techniques that can help to pick these stocks that are still going up, which is a minority of them.
Okay, then other than that, we can see the FBMMSCAP. Okay, if we look from this top over here, during this period, we can say a nearer or shorter term, we can see the highs are getting lower. So it is indeed weak, okay, which correlates with the index being below both moving averages. And not just that, Mr. Fred, if we use Fibonacci, it is also breaking the 61.8% support.
Yeah, generally they are just, and generally they are bearish. And I think we all know why. Okay, the fundamental factors that cause all this. I mean, one is the Russia-Ukraine war that started in February 24. That one is real, a dampener. And then there's also high interest rates. Okay, the Federal Reserve will keep raising the rates to combat inflation. So there again, these are the bearish factors currently that is affecting the market. But we are chartists. So although generally these fundamental factors are affecting, there are a few good ones that can still go if you want to. And this is where our chartists are able to do it through scan.
So yeah, even for mid-cap stocks, in general, they have no momentum. Okay, but don't worry, we have other indices to look at, like the sectoral indices. And today, based on yesterday's closing, there might be some changes. Okay, one sector we are currently monitoring because we saw something being formed, a potential. Okay, so just stick with us. We'll find out soon.
But after, I don't know, based on sectors also, how many, I don't know, sectorial is important. In Malaysia, how many sectors are there that make up all the KLSE stock? I mean,
okay, well,
I was asked this question.
The sectors, okay. Those who didn't join last week, we have 13 sectorial indices. Okay, so this one I'll take over. So the 13 indices here, okay, these are the following: construction, consumer products, energy, financial services, healthcare, industrial products, plantation, property, REIT, transportation, telecommunication, technology, and utilities. Okay, so these are the 13 sectorial indices. And this was last week ranking, and mind you, is based on a trend following technique, okay, such as using the moving averages. So last week we had, based on the indices and the technique, only two bullish sectors, energy and REIT. Okay, and then these were the bearish ones, and then consolidating were these four. So this was back then. Okay, so this is now.
Also same.
Similar. It's just that if you look here, utilities moved to bearish. It's also still quite weak, but understand this. These are trend following. When you use trend following technique, you tend to lag a bit. Okay. So
which is nothing very much except REITs and energy.
But one thing, energy is also quite sideways right now. But one thing that we are looking at right now is actually the technology sector. Okay, over here, technology. Yes, trend overall is still down, but in the next few slides, we'll show you why we are currently monitoring it. Okay, so just a quick follow up on the energy index. Okay, so this was before, if you can see. And so at that time, Brandon, he showed us why it was bullish based on trend. There was a bullish signal based on our system. Okay, trend line breakout. There was an up gap and then bullish crossover from the moving averages. Okay, So at that time, the index was just here, if you can see, okay, over there. So this is how it is now, okay, still pretty much sideways, all right? Okay, and then we're gonna skip through all the other sectors. Now we'll just look at the technology sector, okay? It's index. So this was before. Brandon also highlighted this, okay? So he showed this trend line broken. Okay, so that is a bearish sign in terms of trend, okay? And then they correlated with our TAD system.
Which is very accurate, So it's three arrows down, is it?
Yes, bearish signal here, here, and here. Okay. 3 arrows, then it is TAD bearish.
We got out there.
Yes, exactly. And then other than that, when it was going down, okay, trend line, okay, was also going down like this. Index, okay, was also below both moving averages.
What happens when index is below moving averages? What is it telling us?
Okay,
to still go in, to still be in or out?
Okay, the interpretation when an index or price is below a moving average, okay, it is technically bearish. Okay, so technology in terms of trend, that's how it is.
Yeah.
But also, okay, why we are monitoring technology? Okay, so last week we mentioned that there was 2 similar bottoms here, right?
Yes.
Okay, and then we can see that the index is approaching the trend line here. Trend line, the upper trend line here is like your ceiling. Okay, so if it breaks out, it has a chance to go up. Right now, it's just there, just quite close. Okay, so this was back then. This is how it is now. Okay, it penetrated just slightly. All right.
So what he's saying is, it's oversold, but the rebound had broke through the downtrend line. Hence, there is a technical rebound going on.
Yes, currently there is a technical rebound, but we cannot say it is on an uptrend just yet, because in technical analysis, uptrend is defined by higher highs and higher low. Right now, it's just a few bullish signs. Okay, so there is a chance. Okay, based on the trend line breakout. In terms of our TAD system, so far there's only let's see, there's only 1 arrow here. Okay, 1 green arrow. We need another 2. Right. So while the technology index is forming a potential double bottom, what this tells us is that okay, not necessarily all technology stocks are forming the same pattern, but there might be something cooking, you know. So something being unfolded. Yeah.
To monitor
Monitor.
And then 1 or 2 stocks that could trigger a rebound signal possibly.
Yes, correct. So for technology sector based on the index, okay, it is possibly bottoming out. Okay, so that's why for this we can actually start to monitor. So the technology stocks that I remembered, we featured it in the last few reports was Dufu, was it?
Yeah, Dufu, Inari, Penta, and all that. Yeah, it's in our newsletter. And afterwards, you're going to go through a couple of them. If I remember, you did your slides, right? So
so after this, we're going to go through all the technology stocks that we have here, okay, including those with TAD breakouts and then those without TAD breakouts, but they're on the way there. But as for Dufu case, why we picked it is because TAD breakout is already there, and then it's also forming a potential double bottom. Okay, so we could have picked other technology stocks as well, but because overall trend is still down, so we want to be cautious. We just picked one, which is Dufu. Okay, so I believe it's 2:30 already, is it?
Maybe a little bit, yeah.
Okay, so it's about so it's 2:30 p.m. Market is open. So let's take a quick look at the market, shall we?
But can I ask a question just now?
Yeah.
You were saying that TAD, if they are, what does TAD mean when they are lying together? Is it good? Is it an indicator for buying or selling? No, buying, selling, technically speaking, and this is for information purposes only.
Okay, so TAD, when the three arrows are aligned, it's a bullish signal. As a trader, you can interpret it as a buy signal. But of course, if you want to be more efficient and more accurate, you need to have technical analysis knowledge. You have to use other techniques to complement the signal. Okay, so other techniques confirming each other is a better signal. Okay, so over here, I think you can see my what we call SI station. Okay, it's a charting platform that we use. Okay, so just gonna take a quick look at the market. I don't know what's going on, so we'll see.
But you're looking at
as we fit.
Yeah, but you got a list of stocks here. Just wondering why you chose these stocks.
Okay, this one was actually from the scan after 2:30. Okay, so this scan here is based on the breakouts that happened today by 12:30. Okay, but that doesn't mean they will close with a breakout by 5 p.m. So all this
as of now,
yeah,
they got three arrows up, right?
I'm still just monitoring.
Okay.
I think we can just take a quick look at the KLCI for a while. So the KLCI, nothing much to comment. It is still down.
Yeah, this is it. I mean, if you look at the KLCI, there's nothing to buy. Nothing to buy. Yeah. But the individual stocks are behaving differently from the index.
Okay, and then as for the mid cap index, also it's still pretty much sideways. Okay, nothing much to look at for now. All right. And then since this scan was from 12:30, I think I'll demonstrate one time a new scan. Okay, for breakout. So what we do here is we go to market screener.
Okay.
Select Bursa because we want Malaysian stocks.
Yeah.
Template you have to get it from us. We have the
mentor to guide us, and in our case will be F1 Academy lah. Okay.
Okay.
It's yeah.
Yeah, I think because
I think the net here,
my laptop's handling too many applications at one time. So I think we'll
take a look at
the previous scan. Okay, so the previous one we have Mbank. Let's take a look.
Yeah. I think there's a breakout there. I saw this now.
So you see here,
breakout.
There's a breakout indicated by the green arrow. So the scanner actually pick up this kind of thing, but this scan, it only scans for that day. Okay. So
and notice D, A and D as well got it. So it's a triple arrow up, triple screen arrow up, and it's strong. Indicating a breakout.
Yeah. Other than that, let's see.
Atomic is the next one. Very good.
Okay, this is I think I used to trade this stock like long time ago. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, but now not really. Nothing much going on here. Okay, so
No, if you turn it into a fast turtle, yeah.
okay. So you see here, 12:30 just now I said there was a breakout, right?
Oh, okay.
Okay, because I scanned it at 12:30, but look at now, it's below the red line here.
Ooh,
okay, the ceiling. So since now 2:30, there's no breakout. It won't appear in the scan anymore. Okay, so that's why you want to confirm something, 5 p.m. Okay, then
But what about the red line? If you can
line.
cross the red line, then you get a triple arrow.
Yes, correct.
The other two agrees.
If the candle cross the red line, you'll have to break out again. Okay. So right now it doesn't have, so we'll just skip this. Okay, we'll just look at the market for another 5 minutes or so. Okay, over here, there is a breakout, but thing is, if you learn with us, illiquid stocks, erratic stocks, we hardly touch, okay, because it's not for us. Another one here. Okay, this is a new stock.
New stock, that's why.
Okay, so there's nothing much to see. Okay, but what about this? Okay, this one looks good.
Looks good.
Okay, you can see. Overall price heading upward. Yeah,
yes, it's an energy sector, and that's why we say it's bullish. And then just that today, Petron and Heng Yuan, well, they pulled back a little bit, but before that, these are the active energy stocks. That's why we spotted the energy as a sector to look at.
Okay, Mr. Fred, these are the new scan. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So M-Bank is still there. So the stock just now that went back below the line. It's not there anymore.
Yeah, Altronics.
Altronics. It's not here anymore. So next one, I think we can look at. I don't know what stock this is. We can take a quick look.
Yeah.
LGMS.
No, it's a new.
It's an IPO stock.
New IPO. That's why.
Okay, so that's why.
We don't trade new IPO stocks.
Okay, so this one is a penny stock. We also hardly touch penny stocks.
There isn't very much, Afnan, in this scan, and the reason is obvious. The market is weak. The market is soft, and still it's able to pick one or two. That's already good enough. For those of you who like to FIFO, day trade, pass in, pass out, then this is a very apt instrument to have to scanner. Because it scans every time of the day. Anytime you're free, you want to go into the stock market, you know which stock is trending, just go for the scanner. And that's in our SI station.
Yeah, the scanner really helps. There's a question there in the chat box. Can it be used? Can the scanner be used in trading view? Okay, unfortunately the scanner is only available on SI station. Okay, share investor station. All right.
We do have a TAD template in trading view, but not a scanner. Scanner, you need to have the SI station.
Yes, our set of indicators is on trading view as well, but no scanner.
No scanner.
All right, and then I think we'll go back to the slides. Okay, so let's see. Let's continue on with the topic for today. Okay, so what makes a stock good for trading? So this is what everyone wants to know. Okay, for trading. Okay, for trading, this is very important.
Actually, it's a secret.
The trend.
The trend.
The trend. Okay, so
what sort of trend to look for?
There are three directions of trend, but what we want is an uptrend. Okay, so an uptrend is defined by higher high and higher low. So you can see here, the highs and the lows here are getting higher and higher, right? Annotated here by Mr. Fred, H2.
Yes, H2 is greater than H1 or higher than H1, and L2 is higher than L1. You need two consecutively higher highs and higher lows. One set is not enough. And this is the simplest way and very reliable way, technical way of defining whether the stock is in an uptrend or downtrend. And honestly, the secret in making money in any market, it's not just our market, is you must buy a stock in an uptrend. Please write it down now. You must buy a stock in an uptrend. What trend is it? Uptrend. How to define uptrend? H2 higher than H1, L2 higher than L1. That defines uptrend. But because we got 1,000 over stocks, we cannot use this definition to design an algorithm and then scan it and the computer understand it. So that's why we have the TAD. The TAD, if the arrow up, is indirectly reflecting an uptrend. But we show you, okay, this is the most traditional way, technical way of defining what's going on.
Okay, that's true. The nice thing about technical analysis is there are so many techniques, indicators, but because they are traditional techniques, not necessarily you need indicators, okay, to spot all this uptrend, downtrend, buy signal.
Yeah,
okay.
This is really Kung Fu, really of the foundation Kung Fu, but still so useful, valuable, and helps us, to get into the right kind of stocks.
Okay, so understand this. This is the characteristic of an uptrending stock. So while this is the ideal diagram, this is just a sketch. So in real life, it may not look as easy, as easy as it looks. Here's an example. This is an old chart, okay, in RE. So you see here, H1, L1, okay, H2, L2. This part may be subjective, okay. You may see that, this is actually the same level. Some people, they see it is slightly higher, okay. This is the subjective part, okay, when you use traditional methods. So
that's why we use the TAD to help us out, the moving averages and all that.
And then if you see here,
it's not that difficult. This one H2 over H1. We got a zigzag that can help also. So what is zigzag? Okay, that's inside the SI station. That helps.
Okay, then if you see here from this point onward, okay, it's although traditionally it is subjective. Okay, but here I think everyone can say that it's they're on the same page. This is obviously higher than the other two highs, right? And then even the low is getting higher.
Yes.
So when you see an uptrend, okay, that's the kind of stock that you want, because when the stock is in trend, we believe that it will stay in that trend until something makes it go reverse. Okay, so this is an uptrend stock. And to make money in this kind of stock, the best timing is to enter it early. Okay, so find an uptrending stock, but enter it at the early stage of the uptrend.
That's two secrets.
Okay,
ready.
So that's the next challenge, the next question. How to spot an uptrend early? Okay, so traditionally, this is one of the ways. No indicators or system required. As long as you have a charting platform, you can do your drawing, then it is fine. Okay. So I'm sure you all know what is a trend line, right? So trend line is a line where you connect either high to high and low to low. Okay, so this is an old chart on LC Titan. So let me demonstrate to you what kind of high and low we can use. So typically it's usually the shadows, or some traders call it wick. Okay, so from here I can see high 1, high 2, 2 points minimum. Then you can draw your trend line. Okay, and then you just extend it, make it straight. Okay, so what the trend line is telling us here is, one thing before it went up is that, okay, price, the direction is still downward. But if you see a breakout over here, okay, price exceeds the line. Okay, you imagine this is your ceiling, okay, or the roof, and then you throw a ball really hard through it. What can we expect the ball
to break right through?
Break right through, go further up, right? Okay, because of that anticipation, okay, we enter
on a break above
the stock early. Okay,
downtrend line.
So this is a downward trend line.
So that's why they say the first indication of a trend change is the break of a downtrend line. Oh, this is in John Murphy books. I'm quoting directly. Okay, a first indication of a trend change from down to up is a breaking of a trend line. And obviously, in this case, it's a downtrend line being broken to the upside. is the first indication of a trend change. That's the earliest spot, okay, that you could technically say that this stock, the buyers are now in control of that stock rather than the sellers. Before that, all the way down, the sellers are in control. How do you know? The highs are getting lower, the lows are getting lower. That's the thing.
Okay, so this is the trend line. You can see. Remember what I said? Minimum, you need 2 points. Then you can start to draw. So that's the downtrend line. Over here, if you see a breakout, okay, that is the buy signal, because when you draw a trend line like this and then there's a breakout, trend line tells us that the trend is changing. That's actually one of the uses of trend lines, to signal a change in trend. Okay, so when the trend changes to uptrend, you want to enter it early. Okay, so based on trend line, you will enter on the first day of the breakout. If you're too late, maybe the next few days is also fine, as long as it is at the early stage. Okay, so you can see here, from this breakout, price goes into an uptrend after that. So imagine you enter it early. So once your entry is right, direction is correct, it's a matter of where you sell. Whether you sell here, or here, okay, you'll still make money.
Here's a 2 ringgit profit from 480 to 640.
So the next thing is another traditional technique, support and resistance, but we'll just look at resistance because we're going to look at how to buy uptrending stocks. So in simple term, resistance is an area or level on the price chart where there is a strong presence of sellers. Okay, so how can we see this kind of thing on a price chart? Okay, let me show you. So this is KLSE some time ago. So over here, if resistance or your ceiling is broken, okay, that's where you buy. Buy on breakout.
BOB, Bob.
Or stand in short, BOB. So one of the ways to identify a resistance area is to look at the recent high, or look at a level where price is bouncing below it quite a number of times. Okay, so over here you can see that's the first high, and then we see price is trying to go up, but then it failed. It goes back down and it floats around that level. So we can actually mark it over here. That's the area of resistance.
And we want to buy above resistance.
And yes, we want to buy
Why are we
above
so silly
resistance.
to buy high? I mean, some might ask, why buy high?
The concept of buy on breakout is buy high, sell higher.
I see.
Okay.
Yes.
So, but even before I learned this, I only thought it was all buy low, sell high, buy low, sell high.
Yeah, there are 2 ways to buy. One is buy low, sell high, and the other way is just what you taught us, which is buy and breakout. Yeah.
So if you see a breakout like this, by the way, a breakout should be with a firm candle, okay? Such as this one. If you see that, you can buy on breakout.
Yeah.
Okay. So what happened?
But nowadays, I see a lot of fake ones, buy breakouts. Why is it? I don't know lah. I feel that from experience these kind of breakouts are the probability of success is when there's momentum behind you. That means there's the sea is a high tide. Then you use this method. Right now the sea is low tide. You use this method, there are higher probability of forced breakout. What do you think?
Yeah, that's true. But then also in technical analysis, there are techniques, ways to spot false breakout, and there's actually ways to handle a false breakout even after you enter it. But this is for other times.
Session.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, but back to this. After a breakout, remember what I said about the ball referred to the roof? If the ball breaks through the roof, we expect it to go higher. Okay. Since we are anticipating that kind of movement, we enter early so that we can ride the trend. Okay, so this was KLSE back then. Okay, so while these are the traditional techniques, with technology now, everything can be computerized. Okay, so we have a computer system to help us to do analysis and trading. And also because of the way the system is designed, it can complement with many traditional techniques such as the trendline breakout. Okay, so for the next part here, where we talk about our TD system, which was founded by Mr. Fred himself, okay, I'll let him do the explanation of how we can use this to win the market. Okay, Mr. Fred, over to you.
Yes. Just now we all learned how to define a stock in an uptrend, and that is use high, 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 low. And as I was telling you, that kind of that's a manual method. And when you got 1,000 stocks, you spend 5 hours doing that. So that's why you need a computerized trading system to tell you that your stock is in an uptrend. And the way to make money, the secret is you must buy a stock in an uptrend. Okay? So, but how do you define an uptrend, right? Besides the higher high, is that. So for an alternative way is, yes, when the 3 arrows are pointing up, it's an uptrend. That's the simplest technical, really computerized way of defining uptrend. So at 99 cents on the 17th of December last year, this stock, TechScam, triggered a buy at 99 cents. Why do we buy? Because there are 3 arrows pointing up. Where are the 3 arrows? 1, 2, 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3. When 3 arrows are pointing up, then technically we have a buy. Technical buy signal. Okay. Now, when do we sell? When do we get out of it? So we make it as simple as possible. Okay. When 3 arrows are pointing down, we have a sell. So if you look at this particular TechScam chart, after you bought at 99 cents, was there any occasion where it triggered a sell arrow all the way up to 368? The answer, or 67, the answer is no. So if there's no 3 arrows pointing down, there's not even an arrow pointing down out of 3, let alone 3. So you just keep holding on to that stock. That's it. You let your profits run. But if there's a loss, you cut your losses short. So that is basically that theory also. A secret is also making money in the market is to let your profits run. Not take your profits very quickly, but let your losses run. Many people do that, and that's the wrong way. Okay, now so if in this example, you see how much is, let's say if you bought, so and you cap it until 367, you make 2.68 or 270%. And if you got 10,000 ringgit invested in this stock, you make 27,070 in 5 months. Now, how is that? Put your money in the bank, you get 2.1% per annum. And over here, if you pick the right stock, okay, you make 270% within 5 months, which is about 30% a month. So that is tremendous, right? And TechScam, do you know what TechScam does? You may or may not do. Well, I checked it out. Okay, so now technically it's a buy. If the fundamentals is telling me there is a buy also, that means it's strong, then you have a 1 + 1 is equal 3. So I checked, okay, the background of TechScam, and some of you might know. What does the TechScam do? Anyone? You can type it on the chat box. Well,
by the way, if any of you here, know fundamental very well, guess what? You can actually combine it with technical analysis, make it even more complete.
Yeah, yes, absolutely right, Afnan, right? And so the basically TechScam, but you do go to that restaurant now many times. It's a Japanese restaurant. What's the name of that restaurant? Okay, it's TechScam own them. Okay, I won't keep you in suspense. It's basically Sushi King.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I didn't know it. That's right. You and I, we've been eating Sushi King for a while, right? So there you go. So TechScam is a very good example of how to be applied TAD. Now another example here is DNO. Remember what we learned is that when you have 3 arrows pointing up, it's a technical buy signal, and if you have 3 arrows pointing down, then there's a technical sell signal. Apply that to this stock DNO, and you can apply it to any stocks. Afterwards, we'll do that, okay, in the live chat session. Okay, you can see that on the 7th of July in the 2020, it was 83 cents, 3 arrows came out. And you know, one would have, if you use a technical system, you would have purchased it. But when you sell it at 416 on the May, right, the same year, right? No, next year. So you hold it about 8 months, and you buy again at 478, and you sell again at 558, and you buy again at 592, and you sell again at 550. And thereafter, until today, no buy signal. See how it, and then the sell signal was at 550. Right now, the date of this chart, it is 375. And you can see now, if we add up all the pluses and all the minuses, you can see that this system is able to make 446% in how many months? In 17 months, right? Which is equivalent to, again, 20% roughly per month. And since we are December 2021, there's no more trade. That's how good it is.
So I think you can see what TAD can do. But in terms of timing, you have to understand, if you were to use the system just like that, blindly follow the arrows, most of the time it will be position trading, where you hold onto your positions for many months. Okay, like previously it was 6 or 5 months, was it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but there are some people they're working full time. They can't afford to be looking at it on a many basis. So this position trading system is just nice for them, right? You only need about 15 minutes a day, you know, or half an hour after work. You go back home 6, 7 o'clock after you finish all your makan, washing all the dishes and all your laundry and so on. 8 o'clock you are free. No, you can then just go in and just do a scan, and then the stocks that are going to go up tomorrow will appear, and also the stocks that are going to go down, also 3 arrows down, will also be scanned. So it's up to you whether you're buying or selling, right? So this is good for positioning, position traders, people who are actually busy during the day.
Those who don't know what position trader is, it's basically you trade it, hold it for a few months. It's quite long, but it's not really investing. Okay, it's because investing takes up a few years. And then, yes, with TAD system, if you learn more techniques, you have more knowledge, you can actually also use it for swing trading, where you buy and then sell after a few days or a few weeks. And for your information, what Mr. Fred mentioned just now, position trader, TAD system, busy people. At the end of the session, I'll show you my performance. Okay, when I learned from F1 Academy. At that time, I was still a university student. So I was busy. That style, position trading, buy and hold, was my style. Okay. So moving on first, Mr. Fred, with the next stock here. Just show an example to show that depending on the chart, the TAD system can give us profit in different holding period.
Yeah. So it's also a swing. This is also when you buy, you hold more than a day. It's called, a swing, and a position implies a bit longer, weeks, months, and investor is years. And okay, so that's basically how we categorize them. So stock market, basically you need to be patient. You want to make a 20% in 4 hours. That's not position trading or swing trading. That one is called fast in, fast out, which is intraday. I will explain a little bit about that. Also.
Scalping.
They call it scalping, all right? That one you got to be full-time trader. Okay, then only you can. And you must have more technical knowledge of the indicators. That one you need to learn, right? One place that you can go to, right, is us, okay, because we can be mentored in that sense. So coming back to here, so you have a beautiful, this is Heng Yuan, is oil and gas company, 436 buy until that day when I drew the chart, 717, is still a buy and still a hold. Within 2 months, 64%. Is it good? Wow, definitely. It's equivalent to like 30% per month. I mean, if I can get 10% a month, that, it's just fantastic, because it means 120% per year. Right? If I got 10,000, I make 1,001. That's not bad, right? So if I've got 50,000, I make 5,000 a month. It's better than driving a Grab car for me, right? So I'd be sitting in the comfort of my home here. I'm just looking at the screen, using the system. That's it. And with 50,000,
but actually, Mr. Fred, anyone that drives Grab car, they can also do this at the same time. Buy a stock,
after
hold
coming
it,
back. Oh yeah, they
and
can
then
be a
drive Grab.
position trader.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
sure.
yeah, it depends which style you pick. You have to choose a style that suits your needs and your routine. And this example here, as you can see, profit is within 2 months. So 2 months, 8 weeks.
Yeah, I mean 2 months.
Swing trading
month,
also.
Per month is 30%. I mean, like say, 10%, for me is adequate already. You've got 50,000, 10% is 5,000.
Okay, and
I'm
then
pretty happy with it.
Next one here is Jin Hin.
Same thing, right? I bought at 150 and then at 393, there's still a buy. You just go through all these, the chart here, the candles, you don't see any sell signal. How much is it? In this example, 162% in profit within 7 months, right?
So you can see here that just now Heng Yuan, that one's an exceptional case. You made 60% within 2 months. Okay, but if the uptrend is a moderate trend, just 45-degree. Okay, so generally, TAD gives us position trading opportunities. So in this case, it took 7 months. Okay, so
the message we're sending to you is that you got to buy a stock in an uptrend, and TAD, the arrow up, telling you that is an uptrend, right? So make it very straightforward.
Okay, so guys, it's already 3 p.m. I think we'll take a break. We come back at 3:30 p.m. And then, okay, before I let you guys go for a while, I just want to take a look at the questions real quick. And we have the indicators, how to identify false breakout. Okay, the indicators, you have to contact our team. Later we'll tell you how.
Can I answer on false breakouts?
Sure.
One way to answer on false reduce false breakouts is basically, look, number one is false breakouts are inevitable, okay? If you are a trader, you are like a hunter, you go into the jungle, you go and hunt for deer and so on, or a boar or what, a tiger. Sometimes the tiger hunts you back and you get caught, right? That's called a false breakout, right? I mean, it's inevitable, unless you say you don't want to be a hunter. If you're a hunter, don't tell me you don't get bitten by a snake and all that. Sure, God, right? And so, look, so this is it. So false breakout happens. So what do? Put a stop loss. And so where do you get out when you're wrong? So you already break out, you bought, and that's pulling back right in already. You don't panic, and then go simply sell away. There's such a technique. It's okay to say where at the bottom, you draw a line and you say that's the floor. Below which you cut, and cut. What is that flow? Which indicator you use to define the flow? That one is TAD, right? Our TAD has that flow below which you exit.
And then just to add a little bit more on identifying false breakout, you can also use filter. It's actually technique, but we call it filter. I can explain after the break, which is one is a price filter or 3% rule. Another one is time filter. Okay, so we'll come back at 3:30 p.m. Any questions, you can leave in the chat box. I hope to see more questions about TA because
they'll be pretty quiet.
Yeah, because we frequently got questions about how is this stock doing, that stock doing. So I hope I can see more TA questions. Okay, guys, so you can stay in the Zoom session. We'll come back at 3:30 p.m. See you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Nama saya Muhammad Akmal bin Aris. Saya berasal daripada Bandar Kinara, Puchong, Selangor. Sekarang saya full time trader. Ada dua sebab. Yang pertama, untuk orang yang kita dah belajar basic tentang trading ni, kita boleh revise dengan lebih terperinci. Kita boleh tahu lebih mendalam lagi apa basic-basic trading, dia punya cabang-cabang dia. Yang kedua, kenapa pilih course ni? Sebab dia bagi ilmu dan bagi buku modul. Dia juga exam oriented. Jadi maksudnya untuk kita jawab exam tu, kita sangat-sangat bersedia untuk jawab exam dari segi soalan-soalan yang akan dikeluarkan. Bagi saya, F1 Academy ni saya pilih kerana Sifu Fred lah. Bagi saya, Sifu Fred ni antara pioneer trading dalam Malaysia ni. Kita boleh tengok banyak buku yang dikeluarkan pasal trading yang bagus-bagus semua daripada Sifu Fred. Lagi satu, kenapa F1 Academy ni, sebab dan saya nampak peratusan berjaya untuk lulus MSTA ni sangat tinggi, 80% ke 90%. Saya rasa ni peluang yang sangat baik dan platform yang sangat bagus lah untuk saya dapatkan MSTA melalui F1 Academy. Apa yang saya belajar daripada course PCFTA ni paling signifikan lah Ichimoku trading style pada Sifu Nicholas, dan juga saya baru tahu berkenaan point and figure. Knowledge ni sangat-sangat bagus, boleh apply dalam trading, tak kira futures ataupun stock equity, untuk stock bursa dan juga crude oil. Lecturer di F1 Academy ni antaranya Sifu Fred, Mr. Choi Chun, Sifu Nicholas, Mr. Afnan, Mr. Aiman. Mereka ni semua friendly dan kita boleh tanya secara kritikal lah, dan teknikal, online dan juga offline di Telegram. Jadi mereka sangat-sangat membantu untuk penambahan ilmu dan juga cara-cara menjawab atas soalan. Pada traders lain, saya sangat-sangat recommend F1 Academy ni, memang terbaik.
First of all, I would like to thank to the lecturers, especially Sifu Fred, Sifu Nick, Sifu Aiman, Bro Afnan. Thank you for the knowledge. I didn't expect that I get this much from you. Thank you very much. Even though I read a lot of books, but the knowledge that you give me is beyond the books. Before I joined this class, I'm not sure whether this class is good or not, but it is proven now. I can be a testimonial, because so far all the knowledge that I get Sifu Fred, especially the chemistry, the Sifu Nick for the elliott wave. So far I use the technique in commodity. So far I traded 35 trades, none of them are lost, all are profit.
Wow, good, very good.
That's why I so impressed with the candlestick pattern, also helped me so much. That's why I feel that the knowledge is very good.
First of all, thank you so much for the opportunity, especially for the all lecturer today, Sifu Fred, Sifu Nicholas, Sifu Aiman. This is being a great pleasure for me to join this specifically on technical class. Right, as for your information, I'm also one of the practitioner in this industry. This class, this course actually give me a lot of new knowledge. Can give me a lot of new perspective and how I view the on technical aspect. For information, I'm more prone on the fundamental side, mostly on the fundamental and the financial aspect. Right, so this technical very give me a lot of advantage, right, on how to teach better and then give a lot of knowledge to me. Okay, so I think this is good course, and thank you so much for the support for the F1 Academy. I think I will be so sad the class is already finished. I wish I had more time. Right. All the best. Thank you so much. Yeah.
This course, okay, of course, is the best of the best. And the lecturers are just superb. Without any hesitation, the Sifu are the best here. And not only their knowledge is good, but they go beyond my expectation to share the experience without holding back anything. You know, like what the Chan Kung Fu Sifu, they always keep one set. Okay, but this our Sifu express all their knowledge, and that I'm very thankful. I have achieved my objectives when I completed this course. I have problem to do all the annotation and all this, but today with Bro Afan, you have taught us a lot on the software skill, and this will come very useful. And taking the exam is basically extra bonus for me. So I like to thank everybody, and the knowledge gained is invaluable. Thank you very much.
In 2015, I wrote a book called Chart Pattern Analysis. And this book is about how a super trader was able to use 11,000 to make 42 million in just 23 months trading stocks. And his name is Dan Zenga. If you want to know how he did it, please look for this book. This is in the popular bookstore up to today. Already 4 years, it is the best seller. I'm also an author of the Power of Japanese Candlestick book. Now I'm very proud of this book because number one, it is endorsed by my good friend Steve Nissan. Steve Nissan is actually the grandfather of Japanese candlesticks in the whole world. He's the one who introduced Japanese candlesticks to the world. Every day when you look at the screen and the charts, you are looking at Japanese candlesticks. But do you know how it functions? Do you know what are the uses of Japanese candlesticks? Do you know how to construct Japanese candlesticks and interpret Japanese candlesticks? If you don't, this is the perfect book for you. By myself and endorsed by granddaddy of Japanese candlesticks, Mr. Steve Nissan. Some of the common problems faced by traders today are: number one, unable to have a software that can draw and identify chart patterns. Number two, unable to have a system that can alert you on the right entry level. And number three, spending too much time on a single chart just to look for the right entry. After 30 years of research, I decided that I want to help many new traders to solve these problems. Introducing the TAD system, the ultimate trading template. So, how does the TAD system work? Simple. Just follow the three arrows. Is it that simple? Yes, it is. If the three arrows are pointing up, it's a technical buy signal. If the three arrows are pointing down, it's a technical sell signal. For example, Air Asia, entry on 29th February, exit on 20th September. Your return on investment is 83.6% within 7 months. If you trade with a capital of 10,000 ringgit, you would have made a profit of 8,360 ringgit. Next example, JHM, entry on 21st March, exit on 3rd November. Your return on investment is 156% within 8 months. If you trade with a capital of 10,000 ringgit, you would have made a profit of 15,600 ringgit. Whether your capital is big or small, the trading technique is the same. With my TAD system, you don't have to worry about the complex analysis, charting, and identifying resistances. You don't have to worry about wasting so much time analyzing stocks every night. You don't have to worry about memorizing more than 50 Japanese candlestick reversal patterns. And you don't have to worry about bear markets because my TAD system can screen the best uptrending stocks even in a bear market. TAD system is such an amazing system. It already taken care of the complex mathematics, algorithms, and allow the user to experience simplicity, efficient, and profitable trading. The software is able to notify you via smartphone when to buy, when to get out when you're right, and when to get out when you're wrong. This system is already been tested and used by hundreds of my students. And these are some of their results. Mr. Roger made 13,000 ringgit with EcoWest Warren B for a return of 19.63% within 1 week. Mr. Allen made 4,800 ringgit with Sunda for a return of 9.37% within 4 days only, and many more. Hi everybody, my name is Fred Tam and I am the founder and the CEO of F1 Technical Analysis. Do you know how to pick the correct stocks? If you don't, then why not let me and my team do the analysis for you? I do that night after night. I look at every chart every night, and I know which stock is moving and which stock is not. And those stocks that are moving, I will choose and pick it up and put it into my newsletter. I'll send it over to you. So if you want to know which stocks can go up tomorrow, when to take a profit when you're right, when to cut loss when you're wrong, if you like to subscribe to my newsletter, then click the link below. Let us write this book together.
Professor Khan. I'm the Vice Chancellor of Asia Metropolitan University. This is a very interesting course to equip myself on this particular aspect, the knowledge, the technique, as well as the familiarization with the platform used in order for me to maybe to pick up some stock trading during my retiring days, perhaps. By the previous 2 days course, the classes and the topics that have been discussed, I think is sufficient. I think I have gain quite a lot from this short session. Even though it is short, but I think it is very comprehensive. Technical analysis as a whole and combination with these candlestick patterns and candlestick application on the chart, I think that excites me too much. Furthermore, the TAD system is a very good system and very reliable system that shows exactly when to enter and when to exit with certain level of profits. Oh, they are very, very excellent teachers, I should call, because they simplified a lot of things, make people like me, a first timer, into this kind of very easy to understand. And the examples given are very, very comprehensive examples. And they managed to arouse us into sitting and, concentrating and learning for a couple of hours without going to sleep. That's fantastic. Really, I will introduce, definitely without fear. I will recommend to some of my colleagues, some of my friends that are of my age, that finding something to do during the retirement. At least this will help them to get occupied and to get them busy. At least the mind will be start thinking and start looking forward.
This course, of course, is the best of the best. And the lecturers are just superb. Without any hesitation, the Sifu are the best here. And not only their knowledge is good, but they go beyond my expectation to share the experience without holding back anything. Like what the Chang Kung Fu Sifu, they always keep one set. But this our Sifu express all their knowledge, and that I'm very thankful. I have achieved my objectives when I completed this course. I had problem to do all the annotation and all this, but today with Bro Afan, you have taught us a lot on the software skill, and this will come very useful. And taking the exam is basically extra bonus for me. So I like to thank everybody, and the knowledge gained is invaluable. Thank you very much.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Nama saya Muhammad Akmal bin Ma'aris. Saya berasal daripada Bandar Kinrara, Puchong, Selangor. Sekarang full time trader. Ada dua sebab. Yang pertama, untuk orang yang kita dah belajar basic tentang trading ni, kita boleh revise dengan lebih terperinci. Kita boleh tahu lebih mendalam lagi apa basic-basic trading, dia punya cabang-cabang dia. Yang kedua, kenapa pilih course ni, sebab dia bagi ilmu dan bagi buku modul. Dia juga exam oriented. Jadi maksudnya untuk kita jawab exam tu, kita sangat-sangat bersedia untuk jawab exam dari segi soalan-soalan yang akan dikeluarkan. Bagi saya, F1 Academy ni saya pilih kerana Sifu Fred lah. Bagi saya, Sifu Fred ni antara pioneer trading dalam Malaysia ni. Kita boleh tengok banyak buku yang dikeluarkan pasal trading yang bagus-bagus semua daripada Sifu Fred lah. Lagi satu, kenapa F1 Academy ni, sebab dan saya nampak ratusan berjaya untuk lulus MSTA ni sangat tinggi, 80% ke 90%. Saya rasa ni peluang yang sangat baik dan platform yang sangat bagus lah untuk saya dapatkan MSTA melalui F1 Academy. Apa yang saya belajar daripada course PCFTA ni, paling signifikan lah Ichimoku trading style pada Sifu Nicholas, dan juga saya baru tahu berkenaan point and figure. Knowledge ni sangat-sangat bagus, boleh apply dalam trading, tak kira futures ataupun stock equity, untuk stock bursa dan juga crude oil. Lecturer di F1 Academy ni antaranya Sifu Fred, Mr. Choi Chun, Sifu Nicholas, Mr. Afnan, Mr. Aiman. Mereka ni semua friendly dan kita boleh tanya secara kritikal lah, dan teknikal, online dan juga offline di Telegram. Jadi mereka sangat-sangat membantu untuk penambahan ilmu dan juga cara-cara menjawab atas soalan. Pada traders lain, saya sangat-sangat recommend F1 Academy ni, memang terbaik.
First of all, I would like to thank to the lecturers, especially Sifu Fred, Sifu Nick, Sifu Aiman, Bro Afnan. Thank you for the knowledge. I didn't expect that I get this much from you. Thank you very much. Even though I read a lot of books, but the knowledge that you give me is beyond the books. Before I joined this class, I'm not sure whether this class is good or not, but it is proven now. I can be a testimonial, because so far all the knowledge that I get Sifu Fred, especially the chemistry, the Sifu Nick for the alert wave. So far I use the technique in commodity. So far I traded 35 trades, none of them are lost, all are profit.
Wow, very good.
That's why I so impressed with the candlestick pattern, also helped me so much. That's why I feel that the knowledge is very good.
First of all, thank you so much for the opportunity, especially for the all lecturer today, Sifu Fred, Sifu Nicholas, Sifu Aiman. This is being a great pleasure for me to join this specifically on technical class. Right, as for your information, I'm also one of the practitioner in this industry. This class, this course actually give me a lot of new knowledge. Can give me a lot of new perspective and how I view the on technical aspect. For information, I'm more prone on the fundamental side, mostly on the fundamental and the financial aspect. Right, so this technical very give me a lot of advantage, right, on how to teach better and then give a lot of knowledge to me. Okay, so I think this is good course, and thank you so much for the support for the F1 Academy. I think I will be so sad if the class is already finished. I wish I had more time. Right. All the best. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Hello, testing. 1, 2, 3. Are we loud and clear? Okay, I think I can see our audience back in. Okay, some of them left and then they came back for the second session. Okay, so everyone, welcome back, and we're gonna resume our talk. So for the next part, the remaining time, what we're gonna do is we're gonna show you a few more charts. Okay, that we see got potential based on our TD system. Okay, and this is based on yesterday's closing. Okay.
Scan.
Yes.
We're gonna do a scan.
Okay, after that, when we go to the live chart SI station, we will do whatever we can do, scanning. We share some TA tips because I see some questions about technical analysis related questions, and then the 4-T momentum stock. Okay, all those. Okay, so without any more delay, let's proceed. So one of the stocks that triggered TD breakout, okay, that we saw was DNO. Okay, so DNO, before TAD, we apply other technique first, such as using trend line. So if we draw from here, we can see a trend line can be drawn from here, this high to this high, finally here, breakout. Okay, there's a trend line breakout.
So just to be clear, this is a bullish breakout.
This is a bullish breakout. So other than the traditional method, we can actually complement it or confirm it with TAD. So over here, we can see there was a green arrow here, okay, and then another green arrow here. So 3 green arrows, that is a TAD breakout. Okay, and then if you notice, we started off with a technology stock. It's because, as we mentioned, we saw some movement in the technology stocks. Okay, so after later the rest, you'll see it's all mostly technology. We'll start with those that already have a TD breakout first. Next one is an interesting one because it's in our newsletter. DUFU. So for DUFU's case, we'll do the same thing. Before TD, we draw trend lines. Okay, just one trend line in this case. And then we can see there's a trend line breakout here. Okay, that is a bullish sign. Okay, other than that, TAD. 3 green arrows. Okay, that's a TD breakout. And another cool thing is, those of you who have read this book, I'm sure you can name this pattern. Okay,
Yes.
it is. It's just a potential pattern. All right, because there's no breakout of that pattern yet, so you can't call it a complete pattern. All right, so over here you can see there are 2 similar bottoms. Okay, and then there's one top here. Okay. So you see here, it's like a W, right, Mr. Fred? It's like a W.
So what do you call that? Where it's the pattern looks like a word, the letter W. And looking back, I see that these 3 arrows are so good. You notice where the first sell arrow came right on top here at 420, and since then the market drop and there's no buy signal until today, and we're talking about January this year until now June this year, no buy signal at all. And then the market slump or the stock slump from 420 down to 220, and now for the first time after 5 months it's triggering a TAD buy. So that's something to watch out for. See how TAD can actually guide us into when to sell and stay aside and when to re-enter, technically speaking.
Okay, so you can see here there is a potential double bottom being formed. Okay, since it's potential, we cannot call it a complete double bottom yet. Okay,
but yet there's a breakout, TAD breakout. So this, I suppose, would be for more aggressive traders. For conservative one, you want to make sure other things fall into place as well. For example, a confirmed double bottom, for example, and a moving average breakout, maybe on a 200. I saw there is a breakout on a 50 already. 20 and 50, this one you're using,
So this is a bullish movement within a pattern. And the thing about chart pattern is you can actually measure their potential upward movement or target. For an example, just sharing with you here, For double bottom, what you can do is you take the vertical height, the vertical height of the pattern. Okay, once there is a firm breakout above this level, only then you can project this same distance upward. Okay, then over here, let me draw it over here. This level here is your target based on chart pattern analysis. So what this means is you can aim to take profit around this level. Okay, and then just to share with you here, because on a real chart, it may look a bit messy, but an ideal double bottom, the diagram should look like this. So you see why it's called double bottom? You have two similar low. Okay, they do not have to be at the same level exactly, just similar. Okay, with one top in between. Okay, after that, when there's a breakout over here, remember what I said about change of trend. When it changes to an uptrend, you want to enter early, enter upon the breakout. Okay, it's like this, just like the double bottom in this case. Now you can expect the movement to go upward. And also, this one can actually be found, the information can be found in the chart pattern analysis book on page 83. Okay, so this is actually one of the many patterns that you can learn just from this book alone. Okay, support and resistance, everything is all there. And for your information, before I found Mr. Fred in person, I actually bought this book. I learned from this book. This book is my stepping stone for technical analysis and trading the financial market.
Yeah, and you can get it from a popular bookstore or even from us.
If you get it from us, he can sign it for you.
And sign it for you. You only pay an extra postage of 10 ringgit anywhere in Malaysia, and the selling price is recommended sell by is 78 ringgit, and that's all. It's even less than 100 ringgit. Yeah.
So yes, that's what the book can show and teach you. But of course, you want to know more details, like the one over here, other patterns, exact technique to apply everything. We actually we have a class for this where we teach you more in depth. This one.
When is that class going to be? Oh, I'm so excited about it. You know.
This one here is just a very small portion of what we teach in the class. Okay.
Later on,
so moving on, two technology stocks. Now the next one is JHM. Okay, so for JHM's case, okay, there's a trend line here. Okay, there was a breakout just for a while, but if I look closely, it's a false breakout, it seems. Okay. But TAD is already bullish, so we can still monitor. And
didn't break through the downtrend line.
While the downtrend line has a false breakout, like Dufu, it is also a potential. Let me draw that again. Potential double bottom. You can see that. Okay. So chart patterns of this. How to know, how to see. You have to train yourself. You have to learn how it looks like, because computers also have limitation. Okay, they cannot do this, especially the things that are very subjective. Okay, so just like the previous one, okay, we have the ceiling. If there's a breakout from potential, it can be an actual pattern. And again, target, measure the vertical height. Okay, over here. Once it breaks out.
Once it breaks out, not
that same,
now.
That same distance, you project it upward. That will be your target. For now, just KIV.
Monitor it. Yes. Okay.
Right. Another one is, this is a very expensive stock, MPI. Okay, so MPI.
Same pattern.
Same thing. We draw a trend line, breakout. Okay.
Breakout.
TAD is also bullish. Okay, 3 green arrows. Okay, so this is technically there's bullish momentum going on. Okay, but still just monitor first, because most technology stocks overall trend is still downward. Okay. Next we have Penta.
So quite a lot of technology stocks.
That's why we are monitoring it. So if we use trend following technique and then we do catch the uptrend, it'll be a bit lagging, but that's the nature of trend following. We have to understand that. Okay, wait until they stage stronger sign of of an uptrend and wait for them to form higher highs and higher lows. So for Penta's case, also trendline breakout and also TAD. There's a TAD breakout already. Okay. So in this case, you cannot really call this double bottom because
higher low.
the difference is a bit too much. Okay. So, but still, doesn't matter if there's no double bottom. The trendline breakout, the TAD breakout are bullish signs. Okay. And then if you were to look outside the box a bit, related to the current situation, technically speaking, like the index and other technology stocks, they're moving in a similar pattern. We can also use that kind of information, okay, to make us monitor a particular sector, which is the technology sector. So the next one here, VTROX.
Another technology stock, yeah.
And also I think quite expensive at one point, I remember. It was over 10 ringgit.
Actually, it's such fundamentally very strong stock, yeah. And even then, it succumbed to the selling pressure, as you can see from the arrows, when it was 10.50. And I see ever since then, and we avoided the shortfall because TAD was used, the technicals is used. So technicals are so override the fundamentals. Fundamentals sometimes they're still bullish, no? But if the technicals are down, you better follow the technicals and exit, you know. And so right now it's given us a buy signal again after so many months, 5 months, 6 months. That's why we are monitoring it. This one, yeah. But we also understand that the climate in which our stocks are trading, the whole KLSE is actually quite soft. So we also need to take that into account, and if we do purchase any of these stocks, even with TAD buy signal, we don't do so in limited amounts because this is not a high tide yet. This is still a low tide. I mean, after you go fishing a lot, you know, this is a big fisherman. So he knows about high tide and low tide. And low tide actually is a time to learn, like, you know, going to look for a mentor and get a mentor to help you and all that. And then high tide, you go fishing. That's where you catch the big ones, right? Not now.
Okay, and then moving on from VTROX, that's actually the last one with TAD breakout. And then the next few ones will be those with that have yet to trigger TAD. Okay, there are potential. They've only triggered just a few arrows, 1 or 2. So the first one is front can. As you can see, in terms of trend line, yes, there's also a trend line breakout over here. But in terms of TAD, there's only here and here, only 2 arrows. No third arrow over here. So we're just monitoring it. It's just potential.
All right.
Okay. So next one is Great Tech. Great Tech. I have a great history of Great Tech.
All right. Yes.
Since 2020.
Yes. All the way up you wrote, I remember, from April onwards, is it?
From
do
March.
You have a chart? March, yeah. Or you have some record even to show us?
Record on Great Tech.
No.
I think I screenshot it, but others I have.
Okay. Yeah, okay. So
another
session.
Okay, so over here, you can see trendline breakout also.
Yeah.
Okay, which is a bullish sign.
Right.
But in this case, okay, only 1 arrow.
Yeah. So
still KIV. Next one here we have Inari. Okay. So over here, trend line again, breakout. Okay, looks good. What about TAD?
Not yet.
Not yet. Only.
Right.
There's only 2. Okay.
Right.
Sorry, just 1.
Just 1.
So the next one here is okay, Unisem.
Yes.
So over here we have trend line, breakout over here.
You know.
In terms of TAD, it's just 2 arrows.
Yeah. I mean, these are all fundamentally very strong stocks, you know, fundamentally speaking. And so, so some people want to keep it, you know. And assuming if you do, remember, look at it, $4 ringgit, and you see sell arrows already appearing in TAD. And if you don't exit and reduce positions or even exit So you'll be holding on to it until today. Today is only 274, or went to a low of 274. Now it's 293. So that's how the technical analysis and indicators can help save an investor, okay, from a downtrend. We don't know how far down it's going to go. It can go so far down, like top glove, like that. I mean, if you don't sell, I'm sorry to say, those of you who have, I really apologize for it. Well, 8 ringgit all the way down to what it is now, 1 something, 120, 130, and it's still like that. So for us, we'll wait for the 3 arrows to point upwards, and then the break of a downtrend line and a resistance line, then we will consider to buy.
Okay, so
it's the same in Harta, Korsan, same category.
Okay, and as for the questions, we'll answer it at the end of the session, okay, because I'm going to finish up all the contents here first. Okay, so for the next part here, we're actually gonna go to live chat, because that's the theme for today's talk. You're gonna have a follow along session with us with the market. Okay, so let's go back to the market here.
And for live chat, you know, maybe they would like to know actually which software developer that we are riding on.
Okay, so for your information, SI Station or Share Investor Station is not developed by us, but by a company in Singapore. So we have some kind of joint venture with them where they allow us to inject our TAD indicators and our screener into their charting platform. Okay, so that's the thing about Share Investor Station.
And so that we can rent it over to, you know, people who are interested in the formula. Maybe some of you do, okay? And that's the formula that we are using, and where the arrows up and arrow down is basically, you know, helps us to trigger buy sell signals.
Okay, and then for me as an analyst, where I like to keep a lot of my drawings, previous analysis, SI Station is really a tool and a software for me. And it's quite user friendly also. Yes, that's true. Okay, first
would you like to show some charts that
yes, I'm
by
about
SI?
I'm about to.
Are you about to?
Okay, just now the KLCI, we've looked at it, right? Okay, nothing much.
Someone told me the buy is good today.
FBMM SCAP also is nothing much. What about energy? Energy previously, last Friday, there was a bullish harami, but bullish harami requires confirmation, okay, which there was no confirmation, no follow through. Okay, so we can expect it to still, you know, going sideways, but it is also currently approaching a trend line support. Okay, so if this trend line is broken, it can be a sign of weakness.
Right now, still monitoring.
Okay, but
would you like to do a scan?
I think we'll do it at 4 together with the 4:30 later.
All right.
Okay. So as for stocks, I have quite a number of lists here. We'll start with Coastal. So in the previous talk, Brandon actually mentioned that one of the stocks that we could monitor under energy, okay, they were Coastal, Heng Yuan, and Petron M. Okay. And for today, you can see that Coastal is staging a further breakout. See, another green arrow. The first time 3 green arrow was from here, okay, on the 27th of May, and now it's here, slowly climbing.
I see this as a technically a very strong chart because it broke out of a triangle, and then there's also now a flag breakout, and then TAD is a buy signal. So this one is one candidate. If one want to look into, consider what stocks are to purchase, then technically speaking, this is a technically bullish stock.
So you can see TAD can work well with chart patterns. Okay, so over here, it's also in this book. This is called Symmetrical Triangle. If seen in an uptrend, okay, it is a bullish continuation pattern. Okay, so for Coastal, this is how it is. Next we have here, let me see. Oh, for today, I think there is some movement in Genting, but oops, it went back down a bit.
Alright.
After hitting the old high, it retraces back, leaving behind a long upper shadow. But this afternoon it was quite high. I thought it was.
It looks like
I
a
thought it was
pendant
breaking
breakout just now.
I thought it could break out, but then
Maybe it's only 350 maybe. There's still a possibility of it rebounding in terms of to close high. Because so but it's overall bullish. If you look at the big picture, the downtrend line is broken, and so it's on the way out. It's just taking a rest right now. I like the long green candle there with huge volume that signifies a strong buying, and with a gap as well. There's a gap on that day. I remember very well because I think I traded it at 502, and it already gapped up, and I traded it, but I still bought 502 and 519. I exited, within the same day, and we're talking about 2% only, which is 10 cents. And the 10 cents, if one go 10 lot, it's actually $1,000. So that's fantastic for 50,000 ringgit investment, and I get $1,000.
Okay, so that's it for Genting. Another one I have here that's interesting is not this. Hold on.
Pi is quite good.
Pi.
Our research analyst.
Okay. Our analyst here, Hubo, he mentioned Pi. Let's see.
Let's have a look. I like this basing pattern. Doesn't it look like, it looks to me like inverted head and shoulders with the neckline broken, and it's already on its way up.
Okay, so over here you can see that TAD breakout, the first time 3 green arrows appeared here on the 31st of May. Okay, but even before that, Mr. Fred, there was already a trend line breakout over here.
Yes. As we said earlier, the first indication of a trend change is a break out of a downtrend line. In this case, it broke out, but then it wobbled around there for a little while, and like make you in doubt. But finally, it actually continued its uptrend. That series of consolidation is very tricky, and it would have, created enough doubt for people to just dump that share and say, "Hey, enough of this." It's like going nowhere, and then suddenly there's a breakout. You see. And that's the work of the composite man, we call it, definitely. So we buy on breakout. So we see, I think, a wedge breakout there on.
Do you know what does Pi do? Because I've been trading it in 2021 or 2020, but I don't know what it does. I'm a almost pure technical guy.
Yeah, and the beauty is this: if you're a chartist or technical analyst, getting to know what they do is not so important. As long as you know the patterns and all. So can you measure, for example, where is the next target now that it's broken?
Okay, just to share with you guys. So
powerful.
One of the most common techniques that you can use to draw targets is, on your charting platform, there should be something called Fibonacci Projection or Expansion, or one more, Extension. Yeah. Different name, but it's actually the same thing. Okay, so you have to select that. You just select a low to the next high, and then to the next point where price starts to rebound. Okay, so from there, if it is an uptrending stock, okay, so you can see all the red lines here as your potential target. Okay,
so that one 100% would be 362, is it? I just could barely see it.
Yes, and then also in our class, when students ask me, there are so many levels indicated by the red lines: 61.8%, 100%, 161.8%. Which one should you take? Okay, so there are many ways. You can choose anyone. It's up to you. But personally for me, my first choice would be the 100% because based on my experience, the probability of the stock, given it is an uptrending stock, TAD blue stock, to reach this level is quite high.
It's quite high, yeah.
And plus, taking profit at 100% level is more than the previous level. Okay, so 61.8%. Although technically,
broke through, already exceeded.
So technically speaking, it is a first level where you can potentially take your profit. But to me, it's a bit too small. So that's why I aim for this in general.
A 1-to-1.
If somehow the stock price is strong enough, I would aim for this. Okay.
Yeah, right. Some of them might want to know whereabouts they can learn Fibonacci, because something you said just now about Fibonacci is very interesting because that's used to measure targets. So where do you think they can learn?
Okay, that one you can actually learn anywhere, internet, YouTube, or you can learn from us. We'll teach more in depth, and we'll also actually teach you how to use it with our TD system, or if you want to read books.
This is a book that's written by us, okay, and it's got a Da Vinci Code. Inside it is Fibonacci. The Italian mathematician actually who designed this system, or came up with this system called Fibonacci ratios, which is in this book. And or you can learn from our courses, which we'll tell you a bit later after this. Okay?
Okay, so that's the thing about Fibonacci. So I hope you know how to measure targets now. If you don't know chart pattern, but you know Fibonacci, okay, problem solved. You can use Fibonacci to project your potential targets. Okay, other than pi, let's see, we haven't looked at BJ foot. I wrote here for some reason, I think there's some movement today. Okay, let's see BJ foot. Oh, it's quite nice. Okay, so overall it is an uptrending stock. You see, higher high, higher low, right? And in terms of trend line or chart pattern, it is within an ascending channel, a channel that is sloping upward. And then even right now, previously I annotated, or this is a recent annotation, 4.89 is the, this was yesterday I think, 4.89 was the all-time high. Today price, if you look here at the H here, today price hit 4.92, meaning at some point today price staged another breakout. Okay, but then price retraced a bit, diminishing the breakout signal. So we just wait. It can be a potential candidate for our 430 momentum stock. Okay, so we can KIV this one. But in terms of trend, overall, yes,
uptrending.
Yeah.
Where would our system have bought this? The TAD. Let's say if you are a newbie, right, and you actually know nothing very much about trading indicators, but you were taught the three arrows are pointing up, right? So where is that day that we possibly the TAD has shown us the buy signal?
Okay, so if the very first time would be around here, okay, TAD, although it sounds simple, but you have to learn better if you learn everything. Okay, like what else you need to confirm it. Okay, for example, volume. Okay, volume should be great upon breakout. If you see that firm candle with the breakout signal, okay, then it's a good TAD bullish signal. So this could be your entry point, and you can write it a bit. Over
I'm
here,
referring to the latest one.
Okay, but over here there was three red arrows.
So you're out, right?
You
then
would
you
be
went back
out.
in.
Yes, then you went back, and then you go back in.
Right, that price and this price, today's price, you still make. You make.
Okay, so you still make money. I would say 2 rounds. One first round was here and until here.
And 1 round there.
Second round will be the recent entry here.
Point taken.
Okay.
Yes, very good.
So yes, TAD system, other than being a buy and breakout system, it is also a trend following system. Just like a moving average, where trend following system, they work well when the market is trending, and they may whipsaw on and off when the market is sideways a bit. Okay, like the case over here. But doesn't matter. You follow the rules. You still make money.
You make more than you lose. right? Because you let profits run and you cut losses short.
As trend following traders, especially position traders, trading accuracy, although it is important, it is not the primary thing. It's your risk reward. You get more reward, more profits, okay?
Less risk. Yeah.
And then you cut loss less amount, okay? So for example, I can trade 10 times, 5 times correct, 5 times wrong. But then that 5 times I get it right, it totals up to, let's say, 10,000 ringgit. But at 5 times I'm wrong, it's 1,000 ringgit each. So amounting to 5,000. So 10,000 ringgit profit minus 5,000 ringgit loss. Net profit is still 5,000.
Correct.
Okay, so that's the thing about trend following traders. So that's what KD provides to give you the best risk reward ratio possible. So other than BJ Food, Mr. Fred, I think Afin. Oh, yeah. Maybe after this, because there's one more list here. It says Bonia.
Oh, you have a list?
Yeah.
I still have a list.
Okay, Bonia. Oh, okay, Bonia.
There you go.
This morning it was okay. Yes, yeah. That's what I wrote it down here.
Yeah.
Then when the market, resumed trading, now we're here at 4 p.m. You can
a good
see
example of fake breakout. That because we are in a low tide, so we got to be careful. It's soft. The market is soft.
And then, speaking of fake breakout, the technique later at the end of the session, 4:45. I got my head out the sunroof.
Assuming we bought there on a breakout, right? Where would be the stop loss? Okay, like I said just now, fake breakouts you cannot prevent. Okay, and after you've gone into buy, so the stop loss is important. And for us, it will be the green line, the green lower line, and which is built into this software. We already designed it, and it draws it up for you. Okay, you have a red line on top, and you got a green line on the bottom. These are the resistance and support, right? So the green line is it's 274, 225. Is that the one?
The green line, 224.
224. That's your stop or support, rather. You put one bit below it, so it's 230, 231.
Sorry, this is wrong. It's 224.
224.
Okay.
That's your support.
All right. And then since we're on live chat now, it's actually the part where I also share technical analysis tips. Okay, here's a tip on drawing trend lines. So so first timers, earlier I showed you how to draw a downward trend line, right? Pointing high to high. You can also draw from low to low, which acts as your support or your floor, okay? So in this case, I had drawn this earlier, which was a few weeks back, okay, where I connected from this low until touching here, okay, this candle here. And from there, I extended. Okay, at that time, this part still did not exist yet. So what do you do when you see, there's a temporary breach, then price went back up, how do I overcome this? Okay, so trend lines, it is something subjective, so you can actually adjust it, okay? Or what you can do is also, your initial trend line, leave it there, you draw a new trend line from the same point, same starting point, okay, but then you skip where you previously drawn. So the latest low where there was a whipsaw was here, right? So draw that instead, and then to make yourself less confused, you can change the style of that trend line to like dotted dash.
Yeah.
So this one tells us that initially I draw my trend line like this, but then there was a breach here of the trend line. I'm not sure whether it was fake or not. Never mind, I'll draw another trend line, okay, with this style. Okay, this is so that I can see which one is a truer trend line, and then we see how price goes on after that. Okay, so for trend line, one thing is before you draw it, there has to be some kind of reaction low or high first. Then only you can draw.
Yeah.
Okay, so something new.
Yeah.
All right. So another one, Mr. Fred, you mentioned just now, Afin.
Oh, Afin, yes. I believe It's a banking. I believe it's in an uptrend. It is in an uptrend, high, low, and maybe it's breaking out of a triangle. What see? Or it's still in a triangle. Well, why I say this is a technically strong stock? It's very obvious. It making high and a high and a high and a high. This is called high tide lah. Imagine a stock in a high tide, right? When the whole market is in a low tide. See, you do get that. So the secret of making money and is to identify that stock is still in a uptrend or high tide. Or we call it staircase. Like you're walking up a staircase, you need to look for stocks like that. Our TAD will help you find that. Right now, this one is still a hold. No buy signal because there's no breakout. The breakout is at 223. The red color one is, and also the support after you bought is 216. So see the stop loss is shown and the breakout, okay, is also shown. And these two are embedded in the software that comes with that comes in. Right? And for only a small fee, don't worry about the fee because it's a trader. Trader, you're talking about the big money, right? This small thing shouldn't be bothering you too much because you can make to cover that. That's most important.
Okay.
Come back.
Yeah. Then other than
So
this
nice.
is okay. There was a running bottom breakout previously. This is a bullish reversal chart pattern. Also, you can find it here. So that 78 ringgit.
Yeah,
That's
that's all what it is.
all knowledge is inside here. It's a good start.
Yes.
So from here, price went up based on chart pattern analysis. Okay, the upward target would be here. Okay, but I can say that this one is the slow and steady kind of stock.
Correct. One must have patience.
Patience.
Yeah, and don't just simply sell it because it's going sideways. Because it went sideways for 3 weeks already. Yeah, but there's no sell signal, you don't sell.
Okay.
Move on to another stock.
Move on. Okay, just want to share on this Gamuda, not because it's doing great right now, but my most recent profit was from Gamuda. Okay, let me clear out the drawings first. Okay.
Quite a bit of volatility. of
Yes.
late, yeah.
Okay, so for Gamuda, what I show here is it's a good example of just now the trend line I explained. When you draw a trend line, right? Initially, my trend line was like this. I remember I drew it from here, touching here, touching here.
It broke already.
And then there was a breakdown. I wasn't sure yet. Is it false or actual one? So what I did was, just like I taught you guys just now, draw a new one. After you see a new reaction low, for example here, you see here, there's a candle here, then it bounced up, right? So that's when I draw and connected from there, okay, to there. And then the style, I change it so that I know that this is my initial trend line, this is my newly adjusted one. Then I'll see whether which one is a truer trend line. Will it go sideways or go up or go down? But now,
triple arrow down. So just the tag system is saying you stay aside.
So in this case, yes, trend is changing. Okay, now it's weak. But did I lose? I did not lose because I entered earlier, sold it not at the top, but still higher than my entry price. Profit.
Sure. Well done, this one.
Okay. Another tip I would like to share is let's see. When you open your chart, you may come across stocks that are a few months old. Okay. Yeah, I'll just take Great Tech for example. During its early days, I think it was listed in.
Oh yeah.
It was listed in 2019. Okay. So what I'll show you here is usually during
it shows how good the arrows are. Sorry to interrupt.
Okay. The first few days of stock being listed, the volume can be misleading. Okay, because normally, yes, first few days, especially the first day, volume will be exceptionally high. So you see here it's very high, and then making the rest of the day looks like very low. So if you don't know about this, you'll think that price is up, but then volume is dry. No juice.
Actually, price action is enough. Not volume action.
Volume actually.
You don't have.
Volume actually. What you do is this one, this part here, you hide it.
Okay.
Okay, you hide all the the ones that are exceptionally high. Okay, so once you get to the common range one, then only you can see the volume is clearer now. It's going up. Okay.
So beautiful, the uptrend. There was a sell signal there, but there's no three arrow down. See that how the arrow system saved you from exiting. If you only got one arrow, which is the top arrow, you would have sold there. And then, but if you've got the second and the third arrow, atom and duck, the duck didn't show any sell signal. So you will still be holding on to that, and you ride the trend. This one right all the way. I've done that. I'm not in the. I have. I mean, in and out. But you are consistently just keep on holding on to it.
Oh yeah. You're right. I didn't enter it in March. It was April. Here. That time during the lockdown period. Okay, I entered based on the TD breakout.
You entered there. I remember very well.
Okay, it was April. Then I rode it somewhere until.
I mean, it's really a great case study of using computerized trading systems to time your entry and exit. And that's just TAD is sufficient. Sufficient. I know there are many complex systems outside there. What I'm saying is sometimes the simplest is the best. They call it KISS, keep it simple, salesman, So so just be simplistic. And that's how I did research and come to the conclusion that these three indicators are all that one need. And as I said, there are a lot of complex indicators surely that are around, done by brilliant people, programmers, but we don't need for us is technical analysis, just three will do, right?
Okay, and then just to share with you, at that time, people have asked me, how can I not be emotional, still steady during all these fluctuations? This is the reason why. Back then, April 2020, I was in my final year. I was busy. So my style was buy, follow trend, let it ride. Okay. But basically, buy close eye with a technique. Okay. So that's why I wasn't that emotional back then, because I wouldn't see my chart every time. I was busy with my final year project.
Yeah, many people, they're impatient, and you may see a trend like that very nicely, but in theory, that's in theory. In practical, you already shiver when it drop a little bit, and then you would have
because your money is not inside. So once your real money is inside, you'll feel all the emotions. Okay, that's when the real test is.
And that's why trading system will help you to be less emotional and more objective.
But provided you learn the proper technique, and then you follow the rules.
I just come to our 3 days course, that's all. Our 3 days course have everything you need, right? In terms of being more mechanical, more objective and less subjective and less emotional. That's the whole idea about trading systems.
Okay, next, I think I want to take a look at the technology stocks, see if today, whether there's some kind of
430,
movement.
Maybe so they may like to ask, what is a 430? Why do we say 430? Then we start looking for stocks and the significance.
Those who don't know, our 430 is actually our term, 430 momentum stock, referring to stocks that can potentially have some last minute push before the market closes.
And tomorrow it continues its momentum. So basically it's a momentum type, is it?
Momentum. Okay, so for DNO, I don't see much change, similar to yesterday. Okay, just monitor first. Okay, front can.
Let's ask our analysts,
also
our panel, and see what they come up with. I mean, it's a soft market.
It is soft.
Underline that. So it's maybe there isn't anymore for today, because tomorrow it's a soft market.
But Mr. Fred, now at 4:30, maybe there's still chance.
So we maybe pull out a couple of charts and whoever. What about your guys? What chart would you like us to read? Can you kindly type in the chat box and then we'll learn. So we analyze the chart that you request.
Okay, that one's at the end of the session.
At the end of the session. Okay.
Okay, so far in the technology charts that we pull up just now, okay, for today or so, there still isn't much movement, but still it is a sector to be monitored. Okay, even for Penta, okay, same. Unisem.
And
oh, Unisem. Today there is a breakout.
Oh, it's still not bad lah.
Okay, so but still the candle is not firm. It's with a small body and a long lower shadow. Okay, but still we can, you see the technology stocks, they're slowly triggering our TAD bullish signal.
I noticed that this time around there aren't any sectors that are really bullish except for maybe technologies and oversold situation and rebound. So instead of using sectors to analyze, we also could use our TAD scanner to analyze. That one is free of any sectors. Any stock that individually independent of any sectors that go up, it will be reflected. So maybe Afnan, you like to do a filter, a scan again, based on 4:30, or now it's not yet 4:30, but you can do a scan.
Yeah, we can do a bit early. Okay, just to stand by. So select market, Bursa. Okay.
This way is independent of sectors, just individual stocks. It's like playing Jeet Kune Do. You got no system at all. No, fluid is fluid, it's like water, that kind of thing. So it can be in a terrible sector, industrial sector, but tech scam is going up, that kind of thing, But not today, that one.
Have we looked at tech scam?
Yeah, tech scam, today they are washing out and rinsing a lot of people, right? The fake breakout. So we got to get ready for that too, and cut our losses. Look at that. So, I don't like this dip, it's, right? It's a long green, red candle. The green candle was good and the red is no good. If the red goes below the green, that's it. That's your possible cut loss point, right? So it's around there.
Volume is also quite high.
Yeah, I don't like this. So be careful of this one.
But just talking in terms of analysis, okay? In terms of analyzing it, trend line is still above trend line. But as traders, you have to see when you enter, what price, what's your unrealized gain now? Is it worth it to harvest your crop?
Your profit.
Your profit.
Yeah, your profit.
Okay. And then,
I think you take some profits out. It's like that already, right? But the green line is very interesting. That one will be support. Will be 336.
336.
That one, you see, automatically it's drawn there for you.
336.
That's done by the software.
Okay, so what I like about SI Station is the first day I learned from F1. The thing I noticed is it's quite user friendly. This SI Station. Okay,
it is. And I love that the red green line, which is resistance support. Okay.
And then I think this charting platform is specifically meant for Malaysia market. One of them. Okay, the data is all live. Okay, and it's quite complete.
Yes.
All the drawing tools and everything.
A few markets are not. Singapore is one. Jakarta in Indonesia
but
is one.
Some markets that are further away, there's a disadvantage, like 15 minutes delay. If US, it is end of day data, meaning once the market closes only, they'll only show you the updated price data.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Hong Kong is delayed by 15 minutes.
Hong Kong is delayed by 15 minutes. Okay.
Mostly Malaysian.
All right. This one, I think
I want to say this about markets. I mean, it's really impressive to say that. I trade this 10 markets. But every market, you are a jack of all trades but master of none. For us, we are conservative. We say that we are a jago kabo tak apa, jago. So we only trade one market, we win. For us, that should be your goal, your objective. Okay, don't be like trying to trade 10 markets.
There's nothing wrong. It just depends on what you want, what you need. You want to make money, make sure you make money. Okay.
I think that you got to focus.
Focus is also one thing.
Yeah, just concentrate on one stock, two stock, and then you follow it all the way. You don't let it go. Once you caught it, once you identify it and pick it up, you just need 1-2 stocks to make it. You don't need 10 stocks, you know.
Okay. So just now, Pi was our candidate, but based on our analysts, they say it's a bit shaky at the moment. When they look at other technical factors. Okay, so as of now, there's no confirmation where Pi will be our 430 or not. Okay, but never mind. We still have another 10 minutes before 430.
Okay. Yeah, guys, any stocks you like us to analyze?
Okay, I can see a few. So do stick with us till the end, where later 4:45 sekaligus we look at all the stocks requested. Okay, and then what else we can see here? The turtle scan. Let's see. So these are the scan. So when we do scanning, one thing that the system or the charting platform cannot tell us is whether the stock is illiquid and erratic. Okay, this one you need to see with your eyes. Okay, but one way you can reduce the chances of getting this kind of stocks from your scan here is to sort the result by volume. Okay, highest to lowest. And from there, this is just a guidance, not a fixed rule. Anything below 6,000, you don't have to see, because most likely it's illiquid or it's just not active enough on that day. So I think you can see from this one, MESB and above. So I can see top one here, LGMS, okay, all these stocks. Is this new? Is this the one we opened recently today?
We opened this now.
It's the IPO.
Yeah, it's the IPO stock.
IPO stock, okay. Okay, so IPO we can ignore. B-Stat, I've seen this a few times.
B-Stat, one of the plantation stocks, but the rest of the plantation stocks, wow, this one is good, huh? Yes, it's a beautiful breakout, this one. There must be some news on this stock. Because the sector, we have to look at the sector, whether the sector is moving or not. So for that, you can look at the plantation index. But also it's definitely a breakout, and it's about 430, looks like it can sustain. And so this could be, maybe we want to talk to our panel of analysts. Is there a buy signal there? Or rather a momentum trade signal? If you do a checkup for us, would be appreciated.
Yeah, for that, 7 minutes left.
Yes, we still got it.
Okay. So I think now we look at the other results here. Anything you're familiar with?
No, I don't see any plantation stocks. You see, normally they move in a herd. They move, by sectors.
And sometimes it's just that individual stock alone. Yeah. Okay. But sometimes also, as a trader, that's what you need. If you have 10 breakouts, not necessarily you have to get all 10. Okay. If you diversify your capital too much, also is inefficient. Okay, so it's a good idea to at least be concentrated to a certain extent. Okay, so if there are 10 breakouts, maybe you get into 5, 4. It's good enough.
You look for other factors, like technical indicators that are better, and then of course the fundamentals behind it will help. If we have strong fundamentals, that also help. But it doesn't mean that if the fundamentals are bad, that you don't go in, because the technicals are more important than the fundamentals. Right? Technicals override the fundamentals. Many people are under the illusion of you buy a stock that has got a P&L, very good results, it's good. Not true. They may have very good results, but the price keep on falling. You wouldn't want to buy the stock because it has good results. Because it trends is different from results. So because it can be good results, but the price keep on coming down like waterfall. Good example, Top Glove is one. The glove stocks, they are all like that. Very, very good results. And you can buy based on results. They are actually coming down. And they already broke the indicators already. All TAD are sell. You should just stay on. And that's what I mean by technicals override the fundamentals.
It's especially true for traders, because traders will buy and sell in a shorter time period, okay, for profit. Whereas if you're an investor, okay, you have a reason to invest in a particular stock, okay, then you want to hold it for a few years. Maybe you're after the dividend, who knows? So that can work too. So you see, everyone will have their own reasons to buy and sell stocks. So it really depends on your style and your needs. And this is the thing that a lot of people they miss out. Okay, for example, Mr. Fred, I have people that approach me. They want to make profits frequently every day, but then they're working full time.
Cannot.
They didn't realize this. They didn't take into account the routine they're having. Okay, if they're free or not, all this. So that's the reality of trading. Look at the style.
Correct. You're working full time, and then you got to do this what they call that swing trading or position maybe buy hold, and you need less time to scrutinize the chart, to look at the chart. Unlike you trade within the minutes you get out. That's called scalping. Definitely, you need to sit by the computer and buy your brokers, order platform to place the orders in and out. And you need to know more technical knowledge, right? And for that, again, you go to a school, a mentor. It can be any mentor. We could be a mentor, not necessarily us. We just like tell you, but you need more knowledge if you want to go in and out on a consistent basis, on an intraday basis. Now we have a course like that, which is basically a one-day course. 2 courses actually. Wow, we are on it. Might as well let you all know that those of you who are kids, for those who are really serious, we got a 3 days course and we got a 1 day course. 3 days course are for swing traders. 1 day course are for intraday traders. Normally the intraday traders, we suggest you to go for the 3 days first, right, to know the basics, and then after that you go to the swing course. The FIFO course, with the fast intraday up. Don't worry about the price. It's so reasonable, you can't believe it. Honestly, you can't believe it. And if you can't afford, you don't want to dish that money, you can't be a trader, right? Because we're talking about, you need to think big. Think big. You got to make a lot, okay? So, I mean, there's a small price away. When we tell you the price, you'll be shocked, okay? You'll be shocked. So that's basically it. I think the what you call, just have was it the pie that you said? No more, no more. There's a bit. It's now pulled back a little bit, so that's why we are not calling. We are not calling for tomorrow. Okay.
So I think most likely for 4:30 later for today, no 4:30.
How about M-Bank?
M-Bank, we can take a look.
Yeah, just one more. I mean, it's really a soft market. I mean, to be not able to pick up stocks like that for the whole burst of 1,000 over stocks. And this is also not firm candle. We call this a lower, upper and lower shadow. It's like a spinning top, we call it. It's still indecision. No one is in control, not the buyers, not the sellers. It is resting. It just, it's like you see a green arrow and you don't see a green arrow. But it's breaking out. It's still breaking out of an old high. So this could be a buy and hold, right? And this could be one of them. It's still not bad, not considered. Just that we would like it if it closed at the top, very firm. Then there will be a candidate for tomorrow's continuing momentum early in the morning, right?
But given it's almost 4:30 and the candle is still like that, I don't think so.
Yeah. Today is a soft day, so it's okay. We are here to learn, right? And so there will be good times in the future. So save your money. Don't simply punt. Don't simply punt and then you're out of bullets. Then how? Bullets are the most precious things that the trader has. Right?
And speaking of that, another thing also that I used to tell people that want to be trend followers, trend following traders. Sometimes I remind them, trend following traders, right? Not every day is a trading day. If you're trend following, meaning you're buying a stock, holding it for some time. So it's not that every day you have to make a transaction. If you do that, you're more like intraday trading.
Correct. I mean, because you also got no time, that's why you cannot be trading intraday. But intraday, if you are, that means fast in, fast out, in, out. If you know the technique, actually every day there's a fish. There's a fish every day. You got to be very fast to punching the blood, pop, in and out, and you got to eat it already. You cannot wait for it, don't buy and hold tight. So intraday got intraday being good. But I like to say you must be full time, you must have techniques. So both are also good. but for different type of style of trading.
So that's why your mindset before you decide which style you want, how you want to trade, has to be correct. Even when you learn, the learning mindset has to also be correct.
The mindset. Look, you guys are here to make money, right? I mean, that passion must be in you already. So the mindset must be, you want to be a millionaire, you want to be a multi-millionaire, right? That's why your mindset automatically one. Otherwise, you won't put in the money to learn. So we guess that you have that. The fact that you are here listening to us means that you're in the right mindset. So all of us are in the right mindset. So it's whether you will want to do full-time or part-time, right? And how much money you want to make. Actually, in trading, you can go 10% per month, even higher than a swing, right? You're in and out. So, but the difficulty is to be consistent. One day you win, one day you lose, one day you win, one day you lose. If you are not consistent, but you are consistent and you can do full time, right? Instead of riding, something and doing something else, other thing as a business. This could be a business, right? And you have to work elsewhere and then come back to do. So that sort of thing.
Yeah, and also just now I said for trend following traders like position trading, trading accuracy is not the primary thing. But for scalping, yes, scalping, trading accuracy is very, very important because you won't be applying risk reward ratio in scalping. Okay, so keep that in mind.
Yeah, so technique is important. When to enter, exactly the timing to enter is important, and that technical is in intraday is indispensable. You can't do without technicals. Forget about the fundamentals. There's no fundamentals moving that stock, but it just moves. Like just now, okay, this what do you call it? The tax scam, it just dropped like that. What's the news? There's no news. So just can't rely on that anymore. Just use your technical analysis and just in and out. Okay, when you hit support, you're out. Hit resistance, you're in.
Okay, so for today's content, okay, it's just that. So I'm gonna go through the last slide so that if we end the remaining slides early, we'll have slightly more time for Q&A. So coming back to the slides here. Okay. So I just want to share with you that we, while we are traders, we are also teaching. Okay, our next trading course is on the 18th to 20th of June. It is from Saturday to Monday. Okay, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. So the things you will learn here is trend analysis, chart pattern. The ones I've shown you, double bottom, that's just a small portion of it. There's also candlestick charting. Our strategy is buy on breakout and buy on dip. Okay, using TAD is inside. You also get the indicators.
Yes.
Okay, and also the learning materials will be given to it. Also, the lessons will be recorded. So let's say you've you finished the live one, you can rewatch it again. You have 2 weeks to do so. Okay. Then other benefits like the newsletter, our charting platform, okay, and the TAD indicators will be there for 4 months. Telegram support also 4 months. Okay, and so on.
Yeah.
All right. And just to show you some, this is my testimony. Okay, I learned from F1 Academy in 2018. Okay, I was there. I was still a student.
Yeah, I remember.
Okay? So back then I was in my 2nd year in university. So I was thinking, finish degree first, then take, or take now. Okay. Then I was thinking, I want to trade early. What if I have no time to learn after I finish studying? Because what if I start working after that? So I made the decision to to learn, okay, take the course while doing my degree at the same time. And the good thing is it benefited me because back in 2018, market was like just quite lackluster, right?
Yeah.
Okay. But I didn't have the mindset thinking that I will only learn when the market is good. I was thinking that while it's not good, okay, I'll learn now so that the next time it's good, I'll be prepared. And for information, I started trading in 2016, okay, but without technical analysis. Technical analysis started in 2018. So I learned in 2018. Of course, I didn't become good straight away. It took time for me to master my psychology and everything. During the pandemic 2020, okay, this was my portfolio. I think you still remember. Okay, most of this were technology stocks and some glove stocks.
Yeah.
If you can see, it's 100%. But also, I held that stock for a few months. Of course, not all were profit. You can see a few were lost. But hey, trend following traders, the thing is, your profit has to be higher than your losses. Okay. So this was in July. The peak was in August. Okay, over here.
I can see you got vaccine stocks as well.
Yeah, at that time, those were the theme. So you can see.
Vaccine stocks, you know.
Okay, just a few loss. Overall profit.
Yeah.
So August 2020, right? That time I haven't joined F1 as an employee yet. Okay, I was still
a lot of tech stocks here.
I was still that time I was in my final year.
Final year.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
So the next one.
You already traded.
Yeah, I was already trading before that. So this is the one in 2021. Okay. Okay. In this one, fortunately, I screenshot with a figure. The previous one is just percentage. Okay. That time the gloves rally already ended. I couldn't remember what theme was that after that. But still, I could still make money even without the crazy rally. And I'm a TAD trader. So you can see here, this was my portfolio that time. Capital was
72,000.
inside is 72, but my capital at time was 77k. Okay, so just by February, I already had 4% return. Of course, not all is profit, but most of them are overall profit. Okay, but with the right technique, position sizing, risk management, and of course hard work, I really tried to master the psychology. Yeah, I managed to do this. I think I should.
What technique do you use?
This one, TAD, buy and breakout.
There you go.
Okay, sometimes just the turtle, and occasionally I do buy on dip. Okay, chart patterns, all that, they also come along the way. But generally, yeah, trend following trader.
Yeah, basically TAD is a trend following system. Okay, so it's all consistent actually what you said. Congratulations to you, Adnan. Congratulations.
I think I should screenshot more.
Well, yeah, but from 2021 to now, really, there isn't really much going on. And the less you play, the less you down.
Okay.
Right. So but the time will come again when our market will reflate itself.
So the trading cost, the trader's cost, this is how much it costs you.
6.5 really.
But don't forget, this one is just not the course fee, not just the knowledge. It's also commitment fee and also the platform. The platform is not free. We have to get it from the company, share investor company. Okay.
Right.
So yeah, first you learn, then you take away the L. Okay. Learn first, learn later. So that's what I did, and now I'm here. So this is for trend following traders. For those of you who like scalping, you want to, you have the time to do so. We have the fast in, fast out trading course. Okay, in short, FIFO. So this is where you buy and sell within the same day. Now this one is very rule based. Okay, and
very objective. It's for who? This type of courses. This type of courses.
Those who are free the whole day when the market opens.
Oh, yeah.
So you need to have time. You need to sit in front of the computer.
Yes.
So this is testimony from our FIFO students.
It's a real
yeah, this one is a he or she. It's a she. Okay, so this was last week, I think.
Yeah, just last week, and in
31st of May. Okay, she made 900 ringgit profits within 2.5 hours. Okay, one good thing about FIFO and also scalping is that even when the market is lackluster, you can still make money. Trend followers like me will have slightly more difficulties. Okay,
because you need a lot of profits before you want to take, But these guys, just a small little profit, they take 2% they take,
Okay, and then another
so
one here is
stock is
Benting. So this one was early in the morning. This was in 1st of June.
Yeah, just
700 ringgit in 12 minutes. Okay, but you saw all those profits. Keep in mind also that, of course, you have to have enough capital, okay? Enough capital to trade for scalping. Okay?
Yeah, and to make 700, what is the capital to make this is very important, right? I mean, 500,000 to make 700, right? It's no good. So this one, you notice, there are only about 6-8 lots. It's less than 10 lots. Each is 5 ringgit. So the most is 50K. So the capital used in this trade is 50K, in fact, less than that. Okay, contain. And you make 700K. 700 ringgit. Sorry. Okay. Right. So you know. That's
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So next one is, all right, we're gonna start 5 minutes earlier for the Q&A session. So let's see what we have, what question we have so far. I'll start from the very first one. Okay. False breakout. Okay. False breakout. I haven't shared, right?
Yes.
I haven't. Okay. So for
Well,
false
I
breakout,
share a little bit, but yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I'll demonstrate with SI.
Yes.
All right. Okay. Well, if I can find any good example, I'll use that example. But I can't think of any example. Never mind. Let's just use this. So let's say this is the breakout level, right? 3 ringgit 80 cents. So one way you can do it is you can wait until right before the market closes, around 4:30 maybe, or 4:40. So meaning, if you want to use this technique today, any breakout in 12 p.m., okay, at 12 p.m., 11 a.m. in the morning, you don't do anything first, okay? Wait until near the closing time. Only then you can see steady or not the breakout. If not steady, then it's not a good breakout, no confirmation. Okay, so
is this steady or not? This
one is up and down, but it's already 4:40, so to me it's not steady.
Yeah.
Plus the candle is also not firm.
Yeah.
Okay. So other than
candle not firm, that's important.
Other than waiting until the last minute, okay, price filter. This one I'll just say, you can use when there's a breakout, let it breaks out a few levels, a few bits higher. Okay. So Dan Zanger, okay, a famous trader, US stock trader who uses chart pattern to trade, he says that we can use 3% filter, meaning if price breaks above a trend line, 3% above it is a confirmed buy. Okay, but this was tested on the US market. In my experience, for Malaysian stock market, it's a bit hard to use this kind of percentage because our stock is priced very, very cheap. So let's say 1 ringgit stock, you move up 1 cent, it's already 1%.
So 3 cents. If we can move above 103, then you buy.
So for me, Malaysian stocks, you see how many levels move above lah. Let's say for a 1 ringgit stock, minimum is to move is 1 cent, right? So maybe you can see 3 cents above. That's one way. Another way is time filter. This one I use it a lot back then in 2020. Time filter is saying that, for example, this is my breakout level, right? If price can stay firmly above that breakout level for 2 consecutive days, I can also take that as a confirmation. Okay, so that's 3 techniques to filter false breakout. Next. Okay, some of them know it's Sushi King, tax scam.
Yes, it is.
Farid Saroni, Sally Ang, they know it's that tax scam owns Sushi King. How to be a good hunter from Peter Chen. I think
how to be a good hunter. You make more gains than you make losses. I mean, but you will make losses.
Maybe
if you want to be a trader that you don't want any loss one, you want to have a perfect system, you can't because it doesn't exist. You're not willing to risk your money to make money, and it's a sure thing. You go to a teacher, a mentor, and then you expect that he teaches you, and you don't make any mistakes, and he give you a 100% winning rate. No way.
Okay, but I also think that what he meant is maybe a routine how to pick good stocks. Okay, other than the technique,
Oh,
you have to get used to the routine. So for me, trend following traders,
hunter.
I usually make my decisions based on the closing. Okay, so one of the routines I can say is that you have to build up your watch list. See, make a watch list of what kind of stocks you usually follow. Okay, it can be mixed category, mixed sector, or you divide them into sectors. Okay, and then also routinely, maybe every morning or at the end of the day, you look at your charts, see which one has any changes. With the market screener, the turtle scanner, it's even easier. You can also make it scan that particular watch list.
Yeah, interesting what the scan will show right now.
So let's say I have a watch list of stocks I like. I can choose to scan only the stocks in that list and then see which one's breaking out. I'll take note of it. Okay, get used to this routine and then make decisions from that. Okay, this is just a small part of it. Other things like checking out the sectoral indices, all that, you'll learn later. Okay, other than that is, if you're just starting to learn to become an efficient trader, back then my trading record, I just used a notepad. I don't know if you can see or not. These were my transactions, what stock, what price, how many lots, why I bought it. And then when it's a profit or loss, I check again. How's my performance? I review. If it's a lot of loss, why? What went wrong? Is it because my stop loss distance is too tight, or I'm too impatient, or whatever? Okay, so from there you can review how's your psychology and performance, and then you adapt from that. Because everyone, trust me, you'll have different problems. Okay, next one. For the momentum stock everyday posted on 4:30 is it buy today, sell tomorrow? It can also be, it depends on you. It can be buy today, sell tomorrow morning when it rallies, or some people they like to buy today, also sell today, right before the market closes. Okay.
Or they can buy today, sell tomorrow, not in the morning. They may want to ride the trend. But do understand that after the morning, there is a likelihood of a pullback before going up, right? So you need to also cover or rather control your risk, right? And to do that, you may want to use a trailing stop to trail. Then you have the best of both worlds, right? That you may not want to take a profit, but in case it come down, you're out. So what is called a trailing stop? Okay, we teach you that in class as well.
Okay, and then next one is what is the difference between stock to monitor and stock to watch? Okay, I think this person is referring to our newsletter. Okay, stocks to watch. When we say stock to watch, it is those stocks that have fulfilled our technical criteria. Okay, but for stocks to monitor is those stocks that have yet to fulfill our technical criteria, but but they are on the way. They're just partially fulfilling. But they're on the way to fulfill it, the full criteria. So the recent one, Dufu was featured as stock to watch, okay, because it fulfilled our criteria, and the rest of the technology stocks was put in the stocks to monitor because it was just partially fulfilled. Okay, so we can just keep it in our radar, see if there's any changes. Keep it in your watch list even.
For example, it didn't break out of the W bottom, the reaction high, for example, the resistance, it didn't break. Okay, so, and also it didn't go through the 50 moving average, for example. So we are more cautious investors. Then we would wait until all this have already been